Hello, welcome back to Sushi LIVENODING. The other day I was actually continue on to with the idea to make a procedural mushroom. So I continue ahead and I end up with something like this. It's not like completely like a nice kind of design for it, but I think it has something. What I did here basically, um, I start with a like a grease pencil stroke. Basically, this setup requires two strokes. This thing, this grease pencil strokes, will actually generate the mushroom. This part on the top. There are actually three parts of this thing, and the the bottom part, and then this top part that looks like a dome, and then there's actual this thing, the trunk. Um, I'll show you another like a few example. Currently, it's not like 100% perfect, especially with the positioning of the top part of the mushroom. But sometimes we do get a quite interesting result. That's the wrong one. Like this, for example. That's actually kind of nice. Maybe I should try making example. I'll delete all the grease pencil and I'll try to draw it from the top and at the center of the grid. So I need two strokes. That's the middle part, and then the outer part like that. It doesn't need to be connected. And as a result, we get something like this. It's actually not not perfect at all. It's this part, like sometimes I get with Sverchok, I'm still not 100% sure sometimes with to position the matrix of the object. Sometimes I do get this kind of result. Let me try fixing it with the grease pencil itself. So edit stroke. Maybe I need to drag this down. Update it. Okay, it's actually flipped. Somehow it's flipped. Oh well. Go to top view. Maybe I draw it. I need to draw it in the counterclockwise or something, or clockwise. So there should be like a smaller part. Larger part. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can actually control the positioning. Okay, like that. So I thought it is looking kind of like a mushroom, even though it's really rough. But it is also looking a little bit like jellyfish if you look at it, the top part. So this might be, if with slight modification, this can become like a jellyfish somehow. So if we bake it out, it's almost like a mushroom, almost. But I'll give a quick breakdown anyway. So basically, like I said, this one is quite experimental, and I started with a two-stroke of grease pencil. Of course, in reality, you probably don't want to give that kind of control to the artist. It depends on what you're doing. Even though this is kind of nice, you start with two strokes, and you end up with something like a mushroom or like a jellyfish. These two strokes actually, this is how I started with, become this thing, grease pencil, and I actually have control over the sampling of the two of grease pencil strokes. So two strokes made up the top part and the bottom part of the mushroom. And this is how I control the sampling. So more sampling, better looking it is. And this is grease pencil, so it goes into vector interpolations, UV connections, a lot of UV connection actually happening here. And the next thing I did, because we have two strokes, I'm separating the top part and the bottom part, and I get a bounding box here and finding the center. Oh, actually I have control over the rotation as well, so that might be useful. So rotations, and then I have this thing. Okay, I can control the kind of like a slight offset in the z-axis for the mushroom, because the mushroom, sometimes the mushroom, it goes a little bit deeper like that, kind of like covering this bit. Okay, that part is easy to understand. And then there's this vector lerp. This node actually does the job. It's lerping between two curves, so between this and this, it's kind of doing this blending, like multiple blending, and it's being controlled by this guy. So I can blend it. I can have more detail or less detail. It's just a vector lerp, and with a vector lerp, I did this easing stuff, so I get this kind of mushroom. I'm using cubic ease out, so if I change it, you can see it becomes something else. So there's a lot of possibilities there. But I think not elastic, linear. What was it? Cubic is in or cubic is out. So that's kind of like a mushroom. So that's pretty clear. I get a lot of funky things there. There's a multiplier. Okay, this one also give a control over the mushroom. Taller, shorter, And there's another UV connection, list split. I'll give you this setup for the whole tree. You can freely modify it. So there's also, I have the bottom part that I can control for the sampling. Actually, the bottom part doesn't need too much, mushroom. You hardly see the bottom part anyway. And then I have this, I'm using this multi-extrude. This one actually kind of like a quick little hack. Actually, you don't need to use this, but this is kind of giving a lot of possibilities, like in terms of offsetting and rotating. So I thought, okay, maybe I can use this guy, even though this is probably not the best to use for the bottom bits. And the whole setup itself is a little bit, I think, can be improved, I guess, because in general, if you want to give like control to the artist, you probably want to give the artist control something like this, something like that. So yeah, 3 strokes to make a mushroom. That's a little bit better. Let's go back to this guy. Okay, so we have the flipped mushroom once again. Okay, back to this guy. So the bottom part, list item, delete loose. What is this? Center polygon. This is like a way to put the mushroom at the top. So there is an offset in the X, Y, and the Z. It's not perfect at the moment. I have to admit, it's not perfect. Just to place these two on the top of this guy, I actually need to reset the matrix of this guy. Like center pivot is still kind of tricky for me sometimes. But other than that, it's actually, so this flip normal, just to flip the normal of the mushroom. Let me try baking it again. So bake, give you this, another type of mushroom. It's actually working kind of. So yeah, like I said, this is not perfect, but it does have something. Maybe I need to make a better modification of the node tree. But this can become a jellyfish or like a proper mushroom generator. I'm pretty sure can be simpler. Like I said, it's whether you want to make like something. You always start with the simplest idea you can generate an object, and then you add more details until you get to the point, okay, that's like enough details and enough parameters you want to add to give control, and then you're done pretty much. But at some stage maybe it can be improved, because it's procedural. You can always like go back and change the step, make modification until it is like a better, more ideal, and then you in the end you have like a really like a mushroom generator. For any 3D procedural 3D objects, there must be like an ideal way to generate it, especially when it is something that you can see in the nature or something that comes from imagination, but always rooting in the mother nature. So, well, anyway, yeah, I'll give you the Note 3 for you to have a look if you want. And I guess thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.